Now, what is blood pressure? The pressure exerted by blood when it flows through the blood vessels is called blood pressure, and there are two different variants of blood pressure, that is systolic and diastolic. The pressure exerted on the wall of arteries when the heart is filling with blood is called diastolic pressure. Okay, when blood is going towards the heart and it is filling inside the heart. Okay, so it constitutes the minimum pressure on the artery. So at that time when the heart is filling with the blood, there is minimum pressure on the arteries, and the normal range of diastolic blood pressure should be 60 to 80 mm of Hg means mercury, and the pressure exerted on the wall of arteries when the heart is pumping the blood is called systolic pressure. When heart exert the pressure and when it squeeze and it exerts out blood through it, then that pressure is known as systolic pressure, and it constitutes the maximum pressure. See, diastolic is minimum and systolic is maximum pressure applied on the arteries, and the normal range of systolic blood pressure should be between 90 to 120 mm of mercury. Okay. Now bleeding. Bleeding occurs when the blood vessels rupture, and bleeding is stopped by the platelets. When any cut or wound is there, when you are playing or when you are doing some activity and your hand is being cut, so what happens? The blood, it starts coming in, but after some time its flow, it becomes stopped. How it stops? Because the blood, it starts clotting up. Okay. So how the blood clotting takes? So blood clotting is a process of forming a clot in order to prevent excess loss of blood from the body. If the blood will not clot, so what will happen? All blood will come out from our body. So what should be there? The blood clotting starts there, and which plugs the injury and stop further flow of blood, and also check the entry of pathogen like microorganism. Okay, right? So the process of blood clotting is a complex process which is mainly initiated and maintained by platelets which circulate around the body along with other blood components, right? So when there is an injured tissue is there, it is ruptured, so platelets, they go there, they release thromboplastin. In the presence of calcium ion, prothrombin changes into thrombin, and it forms a fibrin. Fibrin is an insoluble substance which further polymerize and clot is being formed. Okay, so in this way the blood clotting, it takes place. Now we talk about the human heart. This is the human heart, blood circulation in human circulatory system, right? So if we see, this is the right atrium and this is the left atrium. The right side appears left and left appear right. When we draw it on the board, or we give the 3D view of it. Okay. So this is there are the walls. See, upper, these are the four chamber. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is for side for the deoxygenated blood, and this side is for the oxygenated blood, right? And between the upper two chamber, these are known as atrium, and the lower two chambers are known as ventricle, right? And there are the walls between them. Between the atria and the ventricle, there are the walls, so which prevent the backflow of blood from ventricle to atrium, right? So now, if we talk further, these walls are known as different names are there according to the blood vessels. Now, there are superior and inferior. This is superior vena cava and this is inferior vena cava. Sorry, these are the inferior and this is the superior. What they do, they bring the deoxygenated blood to the right atrium. You can see the circulation here. Veins collect deoxygenated blood from the different parts of the body and they take to the right atrium. Now the blood, it starts filling in the right atrium. When the blood it fills, these blood vessels, they close with the help of valves so that it prevents the backflow of the blood. Now from the right atrium, the blood goes to the right ventricle. This valve will get open. When it completely fills, it apply the pressure. With pressure, these blood valves, they open and the blood goes to the right ventricle. Now the right ventricle, it start filling. When it completely fills, these valves, they get closed, and these valves are also closed. Now when it is completely filled, these right ventricle, it applies pressure on the pulmonary artery valves. With the pressure, the pulmonary artery valves, they get open and this blood, it start rising, and when the whole blood goes, they get closed, and this blood, it further goes to the lungs for the oxygenation. Right, I have shown here right atrium, then right ventricle, from right ventricle to pulmonary artery, from pulmonary artery to the lungs. Now what happened from the lungs, where the diffusion process take place, exchange of gases, when it take place, then what happens, the pulmonary vein, they bring the oxygenated blood to the left atrium, right? Now the blood, it comes to the left atrium, it starts filling in it, and again there are valves so that they prevent the backflow of the blood. Now from when it get completely filled, it applies pressure on the valves, the mitral valves, right? And with the pressure, these valves get open and then blood goes to the left ventricle. Now the left ventricle, it get completely fills, and when it get completely filled, it apply pressure on the walls of the aorta. Aorta is the thick blood vessel and it carries the oxygenated blood towards the body. Oxygenated blood is supplied with the help of it. Okay. Now the blood, it start rising in it and it goes toward the body, the oxygenated blood. Right. In this way, in heart, twice the blood comes. Once the deoxygenated blood and once the oxygenated blood. And there is a separation between the left side and the right side of the heart, right? So I have told you that from lungs, the pulmonary veins, they bring the blood. From pulmonary veins, it goes to the left atrium. From left atrium, it goes to left ventricle. From left ventricle, it carries with the help of artery, that is aorta, and oxygen blood goes to different parts of the body. So this is the flow of blood through the heart is shown with the help of this circulation. Is that clear? This is the diagram which is given in your NCERT book. You can draw this diagram also. Okay. This is the lower vena cava and this is the upper vena cava. This is the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle, and there is a dividing wall which is known as septum, and this is aorta. These are the pulmonary arteries which are taking blood towards lungs for oxygenation, and these are the pulmonary veins which are bringing which are bringing the oxygenated blood from the lungs for oxygenation. Okay? Oxygenated blood is brought with the help of pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins, they bring the oxygenated blood from the lungs, and pulmonary artery, they take away the deoxygenated blood to the lungs for oxygenation. This is again the diagram of your NCERT, the pulmonary artery to the lung, pulmonary vein from the lung. These are the lungs. Here it is shown, the blue one is the deoxygenated blood and this one is the oxygenated blood. Okay. The deoxygenated blood comes to the heart. It then goes to the lungs. Lungs may it get oxygenated. From lungs it comes to the heart. From heart, it goes with the help of aorta, it goes towards the body. In body, the oxygenated blood is taken and deoxygenated blood with the help of capillaries, again with the help of vena cava, goes to the heart. And in this way, there is schematic exchange of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood with the help of heart. So double circulation is there. In the human body, blood circulates through the heart twice. Once it goes through the heart during pulmonary circulation and second time during schematic circulation. Systematic systematic circulation. Hence, circulation in human being is called double circulation. Okay. Now we have talked about all the description about heart, how the blood flows to the from the heart, circulation it occurs in the heart, right? Now this is the figure of the junction of capillaries. These are the veins and these are the arteries, okay? And how they are, you can see the exchange, how it is being taking place with the help of. Now lymph. Lymph or tissue fluid is also known as lymph. It's another name for the lymph, right? So lymph is light yellow or colorless fluid material, and it is a fluid connective tissue which drains into lymphatic capillaries from the intercellular space. It consists of two parts. What are these? Plasma and lymphocyte. The plasma is the fluid matrix which is somewhat similar to the composition of blood plasma, and it contains protein, molecule, digested fat, germs and fragments of dead cell, and the lymphocyte cells are special type of WBC white blood cells which fight against the infection. So lymph is also called as extracellular fluid because it bathes the cells and lies outside the cell, and it flows only in one direction. Okay, direction means the flow in it is unidirectional. Okay, that is from tissue to heart because the backflow is prevented by valves present in the major lymph vessels. So backflow is being prevented in, and it is almost colorless. See, in some books it is given colorless, some it is given yellow fluid. So better you write colorless because in NCERT it is given colorless fluid that bathes body tissue, and it found in the lymphatic vessels that drain the tissue of the fluid, that filter across the blood vessel wall from the blood, and lymph carries lymphocytes that have entered the lymph nodes from the blood. So this is the diagram showing the lymph capillaries in the tissue space, right? These are the lymph capillaries you can see, okay? So basically, the question which comes on the lymph is, what is the function of lymphatic system? So first is lymph absorbs some of the fluid from the digestive tract, and it passes protein from circulation to tissues. It also carries the digested fat. Second, the lymph drains excess fluid from extracellular space back into the blood. Third, it carries carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste material from tissues to the blood. And fourth, it protects the body by killing the germs. Right? So, question comes like that. What is lymph and what are its functions? So, you should prepare that question. Right? And one more question is there, that what is the function of double circulation in human being? So what happens when the double circulation is there? So it allows high efficient supply of oxygen to the body part, and it is useful to us because our body possesses high energy needs which is being maintained, and it also maintains the body temperature. So that is one more question which is being asked. Okay.